Hello, this is Venkat from SelectHub. Thanks for joining this demo of the competitive market intelligence tool from SelectHub, commonly called as CMI. Now, CMI is a free tool that SelectHub offers for qualified users that are looking to select their next software, whether it's BI, CRM, ERP, or many other popular enterprise software. Today, my objective is to show you very quickly how this tool is meant to work. The first thing you do when you sign up for the CMI tool is you get an email from SelectHub, which looks like this. It helps you kind of go to the template directly. That by template, we mean the requirements template. The requirements template is a starter, a jumping off point for most users in terms of identifying what are the key requirements they ought to consider when they are looking for new software. The requirements are often broken down into functional requirements, technical requirements, requirements related to vendor profiles, financial viability, and so on. And the objective is once you have your requirements nailed down based on your company profile and the key business drivers you are looking to address with this upcoming purchase, it lets you figure out which are the right products or right vendors that might be a good fit. Say, for example, you have 200 vendors for BI or ERP or CRM. It lets you figure out who are the top five or so vendors that would be a good fit for you, and you can compare them side by side against, say, about 100 plus requirements that might be pertinent for your size of company, your industry, and so on. Now, the first thing when I get started is I get to see that there is a welcome sheet that shows up here that says, let's get started. Now, what I'm starting really is the requirements customization process. Once the requirements are customized, I can build that scorecard that I was describing. But once I have the scorecard with, say, five vendors, I can use that as the catalyst for running an RFI, an RFP. I can even look at demos, build a demo scorecard, comparing all these vendors on an apples to apples basis. And I can also do a proof of concept. All of that can be done within the SelectHub platform. But the objective here is to show you how to compile requirements first. Number two, shortlist products and vendors that might be pertinent. And number three, build out the scorecard comparing these products. And so the first step is click on the Let's Get Started button. And it's going to ask me a series of questions as it attempts to figure out what I'm looking for. And the engine that powers this tool, the SelectHub engine, will recommend the products that are relevant based on the answers that I give here. So the first question is I need to choose the main industry that my company works under. So I'm going to choose software over here. Number two, it asks for an approximate number of employees that work at my company. So I'm going to say 100 to 499. And this tells the SelectHub platform that my company is an SMB, and accordingly, it will customize the requirements. Number three, it's asking me what BI software modules are relevant to you. In this example, I'm looking at BI or business intelligence software. So it's showing me a list of modules that are usually considered relevant to BI. And it's asking me what kind of feature functionality am I most interested in for my upcoming purchase. By default, it selected the core BI functions. I'm going to choose dashboarding. I'm going to choose, say, report writer, scorecarding. I'm going to choose the OLAP, online analytical processing, perhaps data visualizations, and of course, I'm looking for an integrated solution. If I'm opting to embed the BI solution into some custom software at my company, I could, of course, also choose some of these other options. But for now, I think I'm going to choose these, and then I'm going to click on the next button. So now it's telling me my template has been personalized and it's ready. If I want to, I can set up a password. So that way I can always come back to this and I can use it as a reference and also share with other stakeholders in my company. I'm going to skip that step for now, and you can see that it's giving me some additional help in terms of being able to group the requirements into groups and subgroups. It's out here, it's explaining why that's relevant. So, and here I can edit the requirements. I'm going to go into the functional requirements group first. And here there is a help screen, a support chat window. I'm going to clear that. And you can see how the requirements get broken down into different groups such as data modeling, data visualization, document management, general analytics, and so on. So there are hundreds of these requirements that get produced. I do have the option to export them out if I do not want to continue sorting through, segregating everything here. I can also add my own requirements if I have certain custom requirements in mind. I can also prioritize the requirements into high, medium, low out here. And you can click on, you can see I can edit it here. I can also exclude certain requirements here. Now, what happens when I hit exclude is it will show certain requirements as excluded, meaning those are not pertinent to my organization, given my size, my industry, some of the key feature functionality that I'm looking for to solve the problems, solve business problems at my company. Certain requirements may not be relevant. Some may be relevant for a larger organization or for a very small organization. So all of those things I can see. And if I see something that might be pertinent to my company, I can always include them as well by clicking on the dotted three dots out here. All right, so now that I'm looking at the requirements, I can see on the left side, I can go to any of the other groups, such as, let's say I'm looking for a new versus a replacement install. I can also click on the technical requirements, and it talks about things like scalability, performance, data sources, and so on. I can also click on compare products now. Now what that does is it shows me certain products that might be relevant for my search. So here the engine has said these are the 5 products that match your product settings. Now, if I were to go to the standard product directory of SelectHub, you can see that there are several business intelligence tools. So, for example, there are over 300, nearly 400 products that are available, and each one has its own quirks, each one has its own feature functionality, its own power, but not all of them would be relevant. So if I want to speak with a SelectHub analyst, there is a free consultation that I can take advantage of. Or if I want to just look at the platform as is, I can go in, it's telling me that these are the 5 products that match my settings. Now by settings, those are the questions that I answered, such as company size and industry and so on. I can always change them. If I didn't provide well thought out answers, it gives me a chance to kind of go back and redo the project settings, and it will regenerate, recustomize my requirements. So here are the 5 products it's saying that are relevant, and here are other products that are also in here. Now, I'm just going to go with the SelectHub requirements, but if I want to add additional products in the shortlist that I'm building, I can always click on this Add button. So with that, I'm going to first go with the SelectHub 5 products. I'm going to add those to my project. So I've added Exago BI. I'm going to add Looker. I'm going to add Dundas. I'm going to add Sisense and say Burst. So with these 5, I can then click on, up here it's showing me these are the 5 products that have been added. So I can now click on this orange button that says Generate Scorecard. Now, it's telling me that this scorecard is about 75% complete, meaning SelectHub has provided me the answers regarding these 5 vendors that I chose against all the requirements that were customized for me. And it's telling me that, okay, it has my phone number if the vendors need to reach out to me so that they can fill in the remaining 25%. they can do so. I can click OK and have them reach out to me. And when they do reach out, I can ask them to fill out an RFI, which is a request for information within the SelectHub platform, so I can get 100% answers from the vendors. Or I can say, you know what, right now I'm okay. I'm just looking through the requirements. So I'm going to go ahead and look through all of these first. And if the vendors call me, that would be helpful, but it gives me a little bit of time to look at what exactly how well do the vendors meet the requirements and what exactly do each of these products do. So out here, you can see on the left side all the requirements that were customized for me in the earlier step. And out here on the right side, I can see the 5 products, and each product has a score. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that one product is better than the others. It just means that as it pertains to my requirements that were customized by the platform, the requirements that I chose, here are the default scores. Here's how well each product meets or does not meet my requirement. Now, based on these scores, you can see that, let's say, for example, Burst, it's got an 87% rating, which is very good. And if I'm looking at these products, I can see that the scores are computed at a group level, at a subgroup level, and at an overall level. So the 87% rating for Burst is at an overall level, but you can see that when it comes to ancillary requirements, the product gets a 91% score. Similarly, as I scroll through, for the functional requirements, it gets a 94% score. So everything is broken down into a per requirement level, group, and subgroup level, which then gets summarized as an overall score. And the scores are computed based on how well each product meets or does not meet my requirement. So, for example, if certain requirements are fully supported out of the box, it gets 100% rating. Whereas if certain requirements are supported only partially out of the box, or they are supported with custom development or with a third-party product that needs to be integrated, all of those get deducted from the overall score. And that's how the final score is computed. Now, this data from SelectHub comes out of multiple sources. Number one, SelectHub issues an RFI to every vendor, and they fill out a very in-depth RFI. So this information is captured basically the voice of the vendor is captured here, number one. Number two, we have over 60,000 companies using the SelectHub platform. So as they run these projects, whether it's ERP, BI, CRM, etc., HR, when they do these software selection projects, there is an algorithm that goes in the back end. It removes anything confidential, it anonymizes everything, but it kind of captures the crowd sentiment, the market sentiment, in terms of what people are doing in the platform, how they rate and rank different products based on their own RFIs, RFPs, demo scorecards that they built. So all of that is captured as well. And then the data on the internet through review sites, through analyst sites, which are not affiliated with SelectHub, that information is also captured. So we also are able to bring in kind of a third-party perspective to the data. So the voice of the vendor, number one. Number two, the SelectHub community data, including scorecards and reviews. And number three, third-party websites, analyst sites, that information is also captured. And all of that comes together to form the genesis for the scores that you see here. Now, I can now say, all 5 of these look good. One of these may be an incumbent. In other words, I may already have some of the software at a local level or at a group level already in use in my company. I may be looking for an enterprise software license. So I want to compare that product with some of the other promising products that SelectHub's engine is recommending. Or I may say, look, this is the first time I'm looking for BI software or ERP software or HR software, and I want to talk to all of these vendors and get pricing, get demo, and really understand what they have to offer and start building a custom scorecard through an RFI or an RFP or a demo scorecarding process or a proof of concept process that I can do within the SelectHub platform. But that's for another day, another time. For now, I'll stop here. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at SelectHubSupport@selecthub.com. Thank you for watching.